here we go. Welcome to Sports for Life podcast, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while since I've uploaded. I have midterms this week, so we will see where this goes. This is probably going to come out, these videos will come out over the course of a couple days, but I do want to talk about baseball at the moment. So, let's just dive right into it. We had the wildcard games were last night. Red Sox versus the Yankees, and then Cardinals versus the Dodgers. I got both the predictions right. I called both the winners. The Red Sox and Yankees went exactly how I expected. The Cardinals and Dodgers did not. It was a lot closer than I was anticipating, and one of the reasons for that is either the Cardinals are much better than I thought they were because they were one of the weaker rosters coming in to the postseason. But yeah, they did a great job. And then the other alternative is that the Dodgers are just not as good as I think people think they are. And I think it could be a mix of both. The Dodgers have an excellent roster, but honestly, they have a tendency to underperform in the playoffs. I know they won a World Series last year, although there are, it was under some circumstances, which I think you could argue makes it less meaningful, almost. I mean, you don't have to argue that. That's just my opinion. But even so, if the Dodgers they've made the playoffs 9 years in a row now. They have one World Series to show for it, and I believe they have 4 appearances. So 1-4 is, I mean, it's better. At least they have one victory, but still, I think they've underperformed. But anyway, let me just get to my playoff predictions. Let's start out with the Dodgers and the Giants, the two best teams in baseball. Giants were a shock by many. I did think they would be above 500 this year, but I didn't expect them to be the best team in baseball. Their pitching staff has been amazing. Their bullpen's been solid. That's always been a weakness for the Giants. Literally for years now. It's just they've always had a terrible bullpen, but they finally fixed that. Their bats have been amazing. They led the league in home runs. Buster Posey is still elite somehow, despite being, I think, 32 years old. So that's really impressive. But, the Giants have been excellent all year long, and they're going to face off against the Dodgers. I like the Giants. I like their lineup more than the Dodgers. The Dodgers are still dealing with some injuries. But otherwise, that's what I like about the Giants more. And the bullpen, I much prefer the Giants bullpen. The Dodgers bullpen, that is the weakness of the team, definitely. It's been very suspect. Kenley Jansen, who is actually a really good closer, struggles tremendously against the Giants, and I honestly can't figure out why. So there's that. The rotation, I definitely go with the Dodgers. I mean, you have Walker Buehler as your ace and have Max Scherzer as your number 2. You are in an excellent, excellent situation. The manager-wise, it's an interesting situation. Gabe Kapler, the Giants manager, he has a very different philosophy than Dave Roberts, the Dodgers manager. Dave Roberts almost doesn't manage, if you will. He has a tendency to sit back and let everything go. And in fact, it's probably good because anytime he tries to intervene, the Dodgers lose. So he just lets the talent take over. And you know what? That's good because I think that's what you need to do with the Dodgers. The giant Gabe Kapler in their hand is constantly in and out. And I think that also works very well for the Giants. So for this series, I think they're going to play all 5 games. I'm picking the Giants to win the series 3-2. Next up, we have the Braves and the Brewers. And as great of a story as the Braves have been, and it was a tremendous comeback, they're going to get swept. Nobody can hit off the Brewers. Their rotation, they have the best rotation in baseball. Their bullpen's amazing. My one and only concern about the Brewers is that their offense has been kind of slow this season. Kristen Yelich needs to step up right now. But yeah, their rotation is absolutely amazing. They are the one team I think in the National League that can beat the Giants. In fact, I'd say I think they could beat anybody in the postseason. I have a lot of faith in the Milwaukee Brewers. The Braves, unfortunately, their best player, Ronald Acuna Jr., he's injured. Um, and, you know, Freddie Freeman is still there. Yeah, and he's great, but otherwise the Braves are just kind of limited on just overall team. So I think they're going to get swept, but you know what? I feel I feel like they had a good season. They can come back next year with a fully healthy roster, and then they could definitely make a run in the postseason. All right. So so we got the Brewers sweeping the Braves. Then I'll have them go on to. So I just fixed the light, and I just realized how dark it was in here. Okay, so now we have the Brewers facing the Giants. This is an interesting matchup. Giants overall are a better roster, but there's the one team that definitely gave the Giants trouble all season long was the Brewers. Like I said, their rotation is lethal. Almost nobody can hit off them. Now, Giants also have a really good rotation, and the Brewers. It's one of those things where it's like they won't be able to hit off the Brewers, but the Brewers can't hit. Uh, I think they will play all 7 games, and I have the Giants slightly edging them out. So I have the Giants in the World Series, and you can call me biased, but I am a Giants fan. I don't know if I've ever said that before, but I am. So there's that. Now for the American League, the Yankees beat the Red Sox as expected, and now they're going to go play the Tampa Bay Rays. I don't think they're going to do very well against the Rays. The Rays are one of the best teams in baseball. Um, I don't think they'll sweep, but they'll win 3 games to 1. I'm actually fairly confident in that. Kevin Cash, I think, is the best manager in baseball. Although I like Alex Cora, but Kevin Cash has a way of doing things that he made like one mistake in his last year, which definitely killed him. But otherwise, he's been great. So that's a pretty set in stone. White Sox and Astros, this series isn't going to be close. The Astros are going to go in to sweep the White Sox. I know they're playing today. This video will definitely not come out before the game ends. Uploading takes a while. But yeah, so the Astros will most definitely win. I'm 100% confident in that. In fact, I'd bet money on it. And I may or may not have. But the Astros, their offense is amazing, and they're great. They don't have Justin Verlander, which is unfortunate because he's elite, but he hasn't played all year in the Astros. Otherwise, he did all right. So, Tampa Bay versus Houston. This is an interesting matchup because although Tampa Bay had a significantly better record than Houston, I think Houston won 92 games and Tampa Bay won like 100. It's not set in stone, because Houston has a better roster, and I like Dusty Baker as a manager, but he is not as good as Kevin Cash. So that's going to be where stuff gets interesting. I don't. It's tough. I don't know. I am leaning more towards Tampa Bay, but it wouldn't surprise me if Houston won. I don't know why I'm going Tampa Bay. I just feel like somehow Kevin Cash will manage his way to another World Series. Because here's the thing, like Tampa Bay's roster is not great. It's good. It's not great. And then Houston's absolutely amazing. Jose Altuve, Carlos Correa, all the fun guys, right? So I can't even explain why, although Tampa Bay does have a pretty great rotation. I am just leaning towards Tampa Bay. So my World Series picks are the Tampa Bay Rays versus the San Francisco Giants. 2 underdogs, even though they did have the best records in their respective divisions. I have the Giants winning the World Series in 6 games. They'll take it 4-2. Like I said, the Rays roster just isn't there, and I mean it's not even their fault. They have like a $20 payroll, so they really have to overmanage. And I think it's definitely going to harm them because the Giants, they got Buster Posey, who's elite. They got Chris Bryant. Their bench is amazing. So Darren Ruff as a bench player is honestly amazing. Like that was Evan Longoria, Brandon Belt has been pretty good this year. Brandon Crawford has resurrected his career. Yeah, and they've been great. Kevin Gosman struggled in the second half of the season, but otherwise it should be good. Logan Webb has been amazing, and the bullpen. So it's not that it's tough to say that I just don't think it's kind of like last year in the World Series, right? When the Rays played the Dodgers, the Rays just kind of ran out of star power because we all remember the Blake Snell decision, which was the wrong decision, obviously. But at the same time, had Tampa Bay won that game, I still don't think they would have won Game 7. So, I just don't think they have the roster to win a World Series, honestly. I think they can go to one, but they need a few more pieces. So that is my official World Series MLB playoffs prediction. I have the San Francisco Giants winning it all. It's not because I'm a biased Giants fan. It's just how I feel. So let me know what you think in the comments below.